Bonsoir à tous, merci d'avoir été présents pour la projection d'Alephia 2053. Nous avons ce soir l'honneur et le plaisir d'avoir parmi nous Marwan Hab et Rabi Sweidan. Donc merci à vous. Et Jules Cassas, pardon, navré. Et nous avons avec nous aussi Khaled Osman qui va traduire. Donc bravo pour ce film. C'est vrai que moi je suis encore un petit peu dans l'émotion du film. C'est vrai qu'il est très riche en termes de thématiques abordées, de perspectives scénaristiques. Bon, tout d'abord, moi c'est quelque chose qui m'a assez marqué là, pendant le visionnage. Pourquoi est-ce que l'eau est-il un élément clé dans ce film?
Bonsoir, and that's how it ends in French for me. So, to be honest, water is life, and if you think of Alephia, it's set in a very arid climate. And just before I go and explain about the water, let me explain about what Alephia is. It's perceived as a fictional country. It's almost the 23rd Arab country in the Arab League, which only has 22 countries. And when you control water, you control life. And this film was created about 10 years ago. And every time that you look at it right now, you realize the importance of water. Not just in the Arab world, but lately in Ukraine. And with everything that's going on, from global warming to the issues that are going to affect us in 30 years, because Alephia is set in the future. It's 2053, so it's a generation from today. So while it is fiction and dystopian, I might look at you, while it's fiction and dystopian, I'm sorry, but the reality is this has been used before. In the 80s, Saddam Hussein cut off water of his own people in the south. If you look at the two largest rivers in the Middle East today, in Iraq, they are almost 30% have less water because upstream in Turkey they have built dams. So we're looking at something that is going to be 30 years down the line a big topic for all of us.
Également, je ne sais pas si vous avez remarqué, mais c'est vrai qu'on a 3 femmes qui ont l'air de jouer un rôle vraiment clé dans ce film. 3 femmes qui sont de 3 générations différentes. Est-ce que c'était intentionnel?
Yes. It's very interesting for us, you know. Women are 50% of society, but 90% of its foundation, if not more. Education starts at home. And if you look at what has happened and what might risk of happening in the future, history is not a linear line. We thought there was a lot of progress happening. And then, again, I repeat, this film was done 3 years ago. But I take an example of what happened in Afghanistan when women were going to school, and overnight, women are not allowed to go to school. So women are quite a huge thematic for us when we look at it in the future. And I will get back to why we use 3 generations of women. And if you look at the women, the way that we symbolize it was 3 generations of women. There was the past, there was the present, and there was the future. And if I look at the future, it was the first thing to die. That is the fear, the young Layla. Again, this film was done three and a half years ago. When we saw what happened in Iran to Mahsa Amini, it looked like it was, you know, a script of what we feared. And of course, the older generation is past; they can't do much of a change. So the present, as visualized by Sumaya, is what is going to probably make a difference for the future generation.
On peut se demander également pourquoi est-ce que le film prend place dans le futur alors qu'un grand nombre de thématiques s'appliquent complètement au monde d'aujourd'hui. Où est Alephia? Pourquoi?
So Alephia is not real, as I said, but it is genuine. So it's there. And I will take a few minutes, so I hope you can help me out here. We set it in the future probably because we were afraid, as creators, we were afraid that the present is going to be perceived as better than the future. So in the Arab world there's always this wonderful imagery of looking always at the past. Always at the past. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of hours glorifying the past, the great past, how great the Arab world was. But there is not a single self-doubt about how possibly the future might going to look like. So probably out of conflict, internal conflict of fear, we just thought that hopefully this idea is that so that our present is not going to be better than our future.
Technologie et surveillance, est-ce que ça signifie forcément quelque chose de mauvais dans le futur?
Technology is great, but it also, we have to be careful. So again, 3-4 years ago when we did this movie, there was no ChatGPT, there was no artificial intelligence, yes, as it is right now, but you could actually see it. That's the first rule of control, of fear, is that when your life is an open book and everybody sees it. So no, it's not necessarily bad, but who knows?
Yeah. À la fin du film, il y avait un accès à un site internet, parce que ce qui est assez incroyable en fait dans ce film, c'est son site internet. En effet, quand vous avez vraiment créé un pays, et sur le site, ça nous permet vraiment d'avoir comme un livre racontant toute l'histoire du pays, donnant beaucoup de détails. Pourquoi est-ce que c'était important pour vous de faire ça?
Because we did this in the opposite direction. Usually you start in a book, in an idea, you write a book, you write a bande dessinée, and then people create the film out of it. But because we are targeting or hoping that people of a certain generation would watch it, people are reading less and less, especially in the Middle East. So we went straight to the movie, but all the work that we have done in terms of writing the bande dessinée, we've put it online as a website, as the world of Alephia. If you look at Asterix, you know exactly where he lives, who his friends are. We couldn't do this in Alephia, so we had to put it on the website. You can spend hours reading it, discovering the country. It's really interesting.
Une question peut-être un petit peu plus simple, mais pourquoi une dystopie?
I repeat my first observation that we had. Dystopia comes from anxiety. And if you look at all the great dystopian movies or stories, they were done at a time of great anxiety. In the 20s, you have Aldous Huxley, Brave New World, before that, you had Fritz Lang, with Metropolis. In the 40s, you had George Orwell in 1984. And it keeps going and going, and it's at a time whereby there is anxiety about certain topics. And I think we are living in an area or a transformation between the past and the future, and we don't know what's going on. So definitely this anxiety manifests in our reptilian brain, the biggest source of fear, and then we look and see what worse are we expecting. That is the long story of it, if you want to say from a rational perspective. From a creative perspective, this is the first ever time in the entire of the Arab language that somebody has done a dystopian movie and in animation. So it was a big first for us.
Félicitations pour cette belle initiative. Qui est le héros du film?
I think the viewers should know what is a hero, but if you look at the genre of dystopia, frankly, there are no heroes. I mean, when in dystopia there are no heroes. They are all anti-heroes. They all are compromised. They're all have demons. But the outcome is usually change. And for us, change is an heroic act. But I wouldn't be able to tell you who's the hero, because are they? I don't know.
Merci. Donc, comme Khaled vient de le mentionner, la langue utilisée dans le film est en effet l'arabe littéraire. J'imagine que c'était intentionnel.
Yes, because it is the easiest form to follow. If we spoke with the Lebanese dialect, it would have been easy for some, or Levantine dialect, it would have been easy for some, but not necessarily for others. But it was amazing because everyone, because we could monitor this, everyone that watched it, and there were about, which is amazing for a long métrage, like 8 or 8.5 million views within the first 3 weeks of launching this movie. They came from everywhere, and every Arab viewer thought it talked or reflected some of their daily life. So the classical Arabic, if you'd like to say, was a good choice. To do it, white Arabic, if you want to say.
Précision sur l'arabe classique, en fait, c'est pas du pur arabe classique comme il est connu comme l'arabe classique, comme a précisé Rabi. En fait, ça c'est un langage qu'on appelle un langage qu'on utilise dans les films, qu'on appelle un arabe blanc. Ça veut dire c'est le plus proche entre les différents dialectes arabes. C'est-à-dire si vous avez un maghrébin ou bien un habitant de l'Afrique du Nord, il peut très bien comprendre un film comme ça. Et même un habitant du Golfe peut aussi le comprendre. C'est pas purement de l'arabe classique. Voilà, juste une petite précision. Parce que voilà, c'est un arabe standard que dans les films, c'est parce qu'en fait, lorsque vous avez des séries syriennes ou bien des séries libanaises, ça c'est un langage ou bien un moyen qu'on utilise qui peut être commun entre les différents dialectes. On n'utilise pas des mots précis pour chaque pays. Si vous entendez un Algérien, ou bien des mots qu'utilise un Algérien ou un Maghrébin, c'est tout à fait différent pour dire la même chose. On essaye de ne pas tomber dans ces différences du dialecte.
Donc je ne sais pas si vous avez tous pu voir, parce qu'on était déjà en train d'installer le plateau, mais donc du coup, à la fin, qu'est-ce qui arrive vraiment à Alephia? Est-ce que c'est une fin heureuse? Pourquoi est-ce que vous avez laissé un petit peu la fin ouverte de cette manière?
I think it would be too lazy for us to actually say what happens, and I think we leave it to the imagination for what might happen. I think everybody wants something to happen. conspiracy theories usually start when the ending of a story does not match the expectation. So we would be interested to see what other conspiracy theories this might come up from.
Est-ce qu'il y aura une suite?
We hope so, to be honest. This is really, we've already have ideas, we've discussed them, it's just a matter of time. This is a project that was a project of pure love, to be honest. It was really, really from the heart between Marwan, Jules, myself, and of course George, who helped create the characters and helped direct the movie. It took a long time because animation does take a long time and is relatively not cheap. So definitely the ideas are there. We just need time and a little bit of resources, and hopefully we'll do something. Yes, we hope.
Merci. Est-ce que peut-être vous avez d'autres précisions à donner au public?
Well, not from us, but if you have any other questions, we're here. So.
À part ce soir, est-ce qu'il y a une projection en salle de cinéma?
In festivals and shows, yes, but the film was intended for streaming services. So again, it was meant for a different generation than the people that used to go to the movies. That's point one. The second point was when we launched this movie, which was 21st March 2021, 21, we were still in the middle of COVID, so there were no cinemas.
Peut-être que dans l'assistance, vous avez des questions. C'est le moment de vous laisser la parole.
Bonsoir, merci beaucoup pour la projection et pour la discussion qui a suivi. J'ai une question au niveau du scénario. Elle porte sur la fin. À titre personnel, j'ai une petite critique à faire. C'est, à mon avis, un peu naïf d'avoir fini sur une note positive, considérant aussi le fait que ça s'inspire un peu de faits réels et que derrière, on a quand même, entre guillemets, l'armée d'Alephia qui a, disons, cédé le pouvoir aux révolutionnaires. Alors que l'on sait que la plupart du temps, en tout cas dans les pays avec une telle instabilité, en fait, qui suit un régime dictatorial, c'est l'armée qui reprend le pouvoir et qui n'est pas souvent prête à le redonner. Donc, comment est-ce que vous justifiez ce choix scénaristique à l'aune de ce qu'on vient de dire? Merci. Et c'est une question pour tout le monde, hein, pour vous trois. Merci beaucoup.
I think that's the first conspiracy theory right there. So that's the first histoire de complot. I think it's very, very good that you bring it out. Thank you. But we left it open because we don't think that we left it on a happy ending, but we also don't think we left it as a sad ending. The ending of the movie actually shows a whole memorial of lives lost because freedom is not free. How it will happen, when it will happen, at what time, we don't know. To everyone is his own theory, but we left it at that.
Alors déjà, merci beaucoup pour ce film. Il était excellent. J'ai beaucoup aimé le mélange entre le fait de faire, de montrer à l'écran le mélange entre les relations familiales et les relations de pouvoir et les relations de travail. ما أحببته الأكثر في الفيلم هو الخليط بين العلاقات الشخصية والعائلية والعلاقات العملية. لكن لدي نقد بسيط. J'ai une petite critique à faire بالنسبة للدبلجة par rapport au doublage. J'ai eu l'impression que c'était un peu comme Space Toon. Désolé. C'est-à-dire que lorsque la sœur de Majd s'est suicidée, عندما أخت مجد انتحرت قال لها ماذا فعلتِ؟ Et il lui a dit pardon, qu'est-ce que tu as fait, mais sur un ton très neutre. Et il n'avait pas l'air paniqué. Alors, peut-être une petite piste d'amélioration par rapport au doublage, donner un peu plus d'intensité, un peu plus d'émotion. استخدام شعور واحاسيس ممكن تظهر اكثر في الدبلجه. شكرا. Merci.
Pour Majd, en fait, c'était voulu. Montrer, en fait, lorsque un individu comme Majd, il est membre d'un régime aussi autoritaire, en fait, il a été éloigné de son histoire personnelle, de la vraie histoire de son père, de la relation avec sa mère et sa petite sœur. Et lorsqu'il ne montre pas ses émotions, c'est parce qu'en fait, il n'y a plus d'émotions. Parce que c'est un régime où on devient des machines. C'était ça le but et la transformation que va faire Majd tout au long du film. En fait, il va être perdu dans ses émotions parce qu'il ne saura pas quoi en faire. Mais c'était, comme on dit, c'était voulu pour ce personnage-là précisément. Mais c'est bien que vous l'avez remarqué. Merci.
Bonsoir. Je vous remercie pour votre film. C'était impossible de ne pas dire quelque chose parce que j'ai vécu 25 ans dans un pays qui ressemble vraiment à Alephia et que mes compatriotes vivent toujours. C'est l'Algérie. C'est bien dommage, mais c'est une réalité, même en 2021. Du coup, pour dire juste une petite histoire, notre malheur a commencé en 63, en confisquant notre liberté, et notre révolution a rené après plusieurs révolutions dans le temps jusqu'en 2019, février 2019, et continue toujours. Et ce qui je voulais dire, en fait, il y a quelque chose que je reproche à votre film, c'est qu'il s'est concentré beaucoup à Alephia, mais alors que la question c'était beaucoup plus qui achète le lithium de Alephia et qui profite de ça, et comment que ceux qui ont l'intérêt à ce lithium n'aident pas le peuple de Alephia, ou est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qui est entre ces gens-là et les dirigeants, les militaires de Alephia? Voilà, je voudrais juste dire ceci. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much for your remark and for the point. I repeat, when we thought of this movie, it was not necessarily a particular country, but it also can be every country. I will take a bit of time and then Marwan or Jules can add. This is the curse, and I will refer to your friend or colleague that is sitting next to you who talked about familial and family relations. Of course, in corrupt countries, everybody benefits from a certain type of an economy. The lithium was meant as a reality of where the future is going. In 30 years, we're looking at it today. Cars are running on batteries, they need lithium, they need natural resources. There is no lithium in any Arab country. You know, there is lithium in Bolivia, there is lithium in Australia, there is lithium in Chile. But the concept of using natural resources to necessarily control other people, be it from Russia, you name the country, is always a threat. And I think this is just, as I said at the beginning, so that our present is not considered in the future better than our future. That's the fear. The fear is that the future is not worse than our present.
Good evening, I'll try in English. So, the beginning of the film reminds me the beginning of 1984. You have talked a little bit about. So I would like to know if you have influenced both, either by the film or the book of George Orwell. The second one is a little child remark. why all these horrible animals before and after the film? Does it mean that Arabic countries are going back more and more and more and developing country than developed one?
If I ask this, the second question was why, what is it? The picture here? I have nothing to do with this. None of us have anything to do with it. I think this is a. You have to talk to the L'Institut du Monde Arabe. I have nothing to do with it.
I have an answer. Yeah. C'est un artiste, graphiste, qui est invité à cette soirée et on a pensé qu'il y avait quelque chose, il y avait un lien dans ce que l'on ressentait par rapport à ce qu'il faisait et la dystopie. Voilà, tout simplement.
Actually, I just saw it and okay, fine. But to answer you, yes, there are very few. In dystopia, there's always a camera watching you. There's always somebody watching you. Before Orwell, there was A Brave New World by Aldous Huxley that talked about the exact same thing. If you look at Fritz Lange's Metropolis, they had two castes of people that lived in high rises and people who lived underground. The eye itself, the looking in the eye, is a very, very invasive apparatus of authoritarian countries. The eyes are everywhere. In the Middle East or any other, they will tell you the walls have eyes and ears. So that's what we try to say. The old days are now changed into cameras. Everybody has a camera. Not only authoritarian regimes, but we all have 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras on our phones. But yes, it is inspiration. As I said at the beginning, I grew up on a diet of dystopian literature and it stays with us.
Merci, merci à vous. Est-ce que peut-être vous avez un mot à rajouter, Marwan?
I just wanted to add one thing to the question that the man just asked up there. About being helped and all of this, like the movie is an insight into the interior of a country where it's living under this regime. And this is also an insight of how freedom is very expensive and it's up for us to go do the action and get our freedom. No one's gonna help us get the freedom. This is something that is internal for us and we have to fight for it. And I think this is one big message also of the movie. So that's it. Thank you.
Merci. Merci à vous pour ce très beau film d'animation. Je vous laisse maintenant pour le ciné-concert Voyage sur la Lune.